This semester for our immersive course at However, we picked out stuff for their listening centers. So we put listening centers in each classroom. So we picked out books and audio books and all that kind of stuff for each classroom.
We wanted to create these classroom listening centers that could incorporate the community in a way that helped support the literacy components that we're trying to emphasize as being so important at these early years.
The first thing we did was decided that we wanted to make these listening centers community responsive. So we wanted these listening centers to really involve the community and reflect the students who are at However. So we didn't want to do it in a way where you just bought a bunch of audiobooks that played whatever you happened to get. Instead, what we wanted to do was really involve the community. They did a needs assessment. They did some observations of the classroom. They also talked to However teachers, and they interviewed However families. What does your child like? What are they interested in? What's important to you as a family? What's important to the community? To really get a better idea of what the listening center material should look like. And so they designed a physical layout. They were able to order really anything that fit the needs of that listening center. The students were then able to recruit community members and asked community members to read books or sing songs or share stories that were important to their community. And the Ball State students recorded them on iPads, and students are able to now listen to community members read books on iPads and also look at the physical book.
We wanted to find a small space in their classroom that we could have a place for them to be able to sit down and actually fully engage with these literacy components that we had for them. We included a lot of different books in there and a lot of different materials to try and give them a way to interact with literature in ways that they could at their young age.
We got feedback from our teachers, and then we also tried to find books that the children would see themselves in. So we tried to find books that showed them in their community and not just books that were popular and available to buy.
It's important for the students at However to have these listening centers just so they can practice their oral vocabulary, their language development, and their reading. It really helps them out, just interacting with the print and the word within the recordings.
I really enjoyed being able to work with the teachers and the kids at However and the other Ball State teachers that were in the classroom with me. I think that we all were able to kind of work together to really create a center that was made for this classroom specifically, which is what we were trying to focus on too, of trying to incorporate their families and their cultures that were in this year's classroom, because we were talking about how important it is that their classrooms are reflective of their communities and the peoples that are in their lives. And so I think that that was just really the best part of being able to actually all come together and create that, because it really was a team effort, and I think that that's why it ended up being so successful.
I had never had a class like this before, and having something that was so involved in the community really showed me how important it is to be so involved in the community. My classroom, I think, will be completely different because of this whole experience. It's really taught me how to go more in depth with my teaching lessons and my classroom in general.
So this project definitely prepared me for my future classroom because we were focusing a lot on culturally diverse, culturally responsive teaching. It really helps me understand that we really need to reflect upon our students and what they need from us, as well as what we would like to see them learning.
I think the biggest thing I would like students to get out of this project is that you have to be a community responsive teacher. That you just can't go into classrooms and do the same thing in one community you would do in another community. You really have to involve students and families and communities in what you are teaching and covering and thinking about, and just the student learning in each classroom.